And welcome back to the Nose Plays Thea 2. We have a couple things to go over. So I got some good commentary from a couple of my viewers in the last few videos, and they mentioned a few things that I thought I would pass on. But before we get to that, I also want to point out that I am still aware of the sound issues, and I made one significant change tonight, so hopefully that's last of my handful of changes that I have left to try will resolve the sound issues. I think I've narrowed it down to about 3 different things that could be causing this weird static, and so we're going to try over the course of the next 3 videos or so to try to eliminate each one of those as a possibility. So one of those is being tested tonight. If the distortion goes away, then I'll know I've resolved and isolated what the problem is. That being said, we ended the last video, I went a little long, about an hour and a half, and we didn't end in a good place. We had sent our ship off this direction to sort of scout the rest of the island, and then immediately after got in a random adventure that sort of put us in a bad spot, gave us another curse to one of our important characters, and not something that we generally want to be having happen. That being said, I think we're going to stick it out and just stay here and continue to gather this amber, and that is a very good transition to my next point. One of the people who's been following the series pointed out that a lot of the reason that I'm having a problem with weight is because I'm carrying too many of the tier 1 resources, which are generally garbage for building anything except at the very beginning of the game, and I completely agree with that. And also, I'm carrying a fair amount of stone, and I really should either just build something with that stone or kind of get rid of it since I don't have a village. And also, I would generally agree with that statement as well. The one difference being that now that I have 10,000 pounds of carrying capacity on my ship, I should be able to keep a small number of characters, probably the crafters, the researchers, and maybe some children, and then send adventure parties out, and I can keep the heavier resources on the ship, and I should be okay. But in the beginning of the game, one of the most important resources that you find access to, in my opinion, is the amber gems. It's the only tier 1 resource that really makes any sense. And the reason for that is the one advantage that amber has over all the other tier 1 resources is that it's the lightest of all the materials. So when you're building stuff in the early game is arguably when your strength scores for all of your characters are going to be the lowest point that they're ever going to be. And you need really, really light materials, really, really light equipment. And so when you start crafting things, if you use gems, use amber gems, you're going to get the lightest possible materials until you get to like tier 2 gems. And the gems in general are the lightest of all the material groups, and so they're ones that are really useful for low-level characters like children who can't carry much weight, any character that's just not going to focus on strength as a stat beyond maybe 4 or 5 points. Gems are really, really good for this. It's also pretty useful because you consume it, and anything that you consume, you want to consume something cheap. It's better than burning your high-quality wood like dryad wood, dark wood, or elven wood. So you don't want to be burning that in your campfires. You can in a pinch, but generally speaking, just keep a small stash of regular wood on you for that. But as far as like the tier 1 stone, the tier 1 steel, they're pretty bad, and they're very heavy, and they're not very good for crafting. Except at the very, very beginning of the game, maybe, just to get you outfitted with something. So that was a good point, and if I were to basically ditch or stop collecting those materials as often, I probably wouldn't be weighed down as much. Part of the problem is I'm not really gathering them per se. I just happen to get caches of them for a lot of these quests that we're doing, and I don't always use them very wisely. Sometimes it's better to just dump them like we've done. Other times I like to keep a small quantity of the lighter ones for events where I can trade like 30 of something to remove a curse. It's really nice to be able to just dump 30 leather. But generally speaking, most of the resources are really easy to gather. So, okay, what I want to do is I want to bring my ship back around this way. I'm not going to finish going all the way around the island. We're going to go pick these guys up. We're going to try to get these curses removed. And then, where is my ship? It's kind of hidden underneath all these. And then, once I've got them picked back up, we will decide where we want to go over here. There's a lot of stuff going on over here, and I'm a little worried about getting attacked by something when we're injured and under curses. So we'll do what we can though. This group can continue to gather. This is fine. They're not going to starve to death, although they do have a limited quantity of wood. How much wood do they have? Yeah, they got 5 turns of wood left, because we're burning 2 per turn. Okay. We should be able to get there in no time. Yeah, we could get all the way back there this turn if we really wanted to. And I think we do. I just want to make sure that these guys have the support that they need in a pinch. Looks like we've got all the vegetables cooked up that we can. So we can take him off of that, and there's no other cooking that I really could do because I'm saving the herbs for the curse removal. So we can just trash that since it's over here. There's no gathering we can do. These guys are already locked down on the research. So it's crafting. Maybe we'll come back and... I guess I don't really need this as a favorite anymore. We've got it made already. Perhaps we craft something here before we end our turn. I need to see how much gem we have. So we've got 20 here. And we have 27 here, so we need at least 1 more turn of gathering to remove 1 curse, but now we have 2 sets of curses. Did we get some mushrooms? I thought we got some mushrooms, but probably not enough. Somebody pointed out that the raft weighs over 600 units of weight. That's not actually correct. The raft actually isn't 615, that's the value. The weight of the raft is only 31.5, so it's actually really light to carry a raft around for whatever reason. And I think there might be a situation where it comes in handy to be able to ferry people when maybe I'm out to sea and I need to send a group somewhere else. So I'd like to keep it around since it doesn't weigh very much. This boat, however, does weigh over 1,000, and it is something that's just going to take up basically 1/10 of our total weight capacity for the ship to have it in our inventory to use it. So that's just part of the deal. But as I pointed out, we do get more than 10,000 when we're on the ocean, because our gathering tools seem to help. So you can see over here we have 13,000 encumbrance potential, and that has to be because we're getting the benefit from the gathering tools that increase our carrying load even when we're on a ship. So that's kind of cool. So we're not going to do much with these guys, actually. We're just going to wait another turn, I guess. At some point, I am going to have to bring them back together. The question is, do I bring this group here, or do I bring that group there? That is a good question. I want to make sure that the group is completely combined before we try to remove the curse. Last time it only removed the curse for the group that the ritual was being performed on. I made a lot of mistakes this playthrough, and yet we're still doing reasonably well, I guess. Let's go ahead and break this camp. Why can't I get this to click? There. We'll move them back there. Or not. Why are we unable to do this? Interesting. So I can't move them back onto the ship. I have to move the ship onto the land. The only way to move them back onto the ship would be to have the raft in their inventory, I suppose. Well, that's interesting. So that, I guess, determines that whatever we send our party out, we want to give them the raft. That way they can move back to us, and vice versa. Okay, well, do we have any more movement? We do. So we can still move back to this spot. I guess I can just set back up and continue gathering. Ritual that needs performed. Our best ritual performer will be you. We'll just let you do that in 2 turns. Second best researcher would be you, although we probably have some crafting we could do. We definitely have some new cooking options because we have a new source of food here, so I can cook something like this. Yeah, let's cook a sandwich. Why not? We'll add that over there and put him on that. Anything else I want to do? Crafting. We do have a character that's using a bow that's not very good. We do have some options for better bows. But not a lot. Got a bunch of this steel and a bunch of that, so yeah, I know what we need to be doing. Let's get this. I guess let's start with this and we'll convert this steel into mithril. Put you over here, and then we'll just get these 2 guys over there. That makes more sense to me. Okay, that's looking good. I want to get a bunch of mithril. We're gonna have to find another source of coal here pretty soon. Winter has now passed, and now we are in the season of spring. Remember, spring, in my opinion, is the best time to get into sketchy engagements because you heal better. So if we want to do any fighting, probably now's the time because we'll heal more quickly and we'll be able to recover and move on to the next fight. Oh dear, that is not what I wanted to do. Yeah, well, that sucks. I've got to get used to this. I made more steel out of the mithril that I had instead of making more mithril from the steel that I had, which is what I really wanted to do. Convert all this into mithril. Okay, well, that was kind of a waste. So I guess basically we're gonna have to. I mean, I can make some more steel. Let's just make a bunch of steel and then see what we can make out of it, I guess. So we'll convert all this iron to steel. Finish making some sandwiches. I need one more turn to remove my curse. And let's hope that it's the mass curse that we got. Alright. So we got more sandwiches. We got a curse removed. It doesn't. I hate the fact that it doesn't tell us which curse got removed. I have to literally go and look. Alright, so that physical curse is still on her, but... No? They all still have curses. Well, that sucks. Well, now we're in trouble, because I don't have a great way to do another one of these. I don't know what curse we ended up removing. And it doesn't tell us. Unless we had like... Did we have like two? We had like duplicates of this, right? It was like 160% and now it's down to 80. So we're gonna literally have to remove 3 curses. Lovely. Well, the good news is we're collecting these crystals pretty fast. The bad news is this is taking a lot of time. We really need to be doing some other things. Also, yeah. Alright, well, we're gonna split these guys up again then. I know that's kind of risky, but one thing we're gonna do is we're going to give them the Wrath this time. And I want my 2 best gatherers to be here. And we want one of the warriors and the hunter. That makes a pretty decent party of 4. We need to give them food. So we can roughly give them half the food and split the food. We currently have 85 turns worth of food for our whole party. So that seems reasonable that we'll get equal amounts of food. And then I'm going to give them all of this wood, I think. Or do I just give them half? I have all this wood I could be burning if I had to. Let's give them half. 7 turns of burning is probably enough for both groups. Is there anything else that I want them to have? don't think so. I think that's good. Their weight capacity's fine. And they'll continue to collect crystals and grain. We might even be able to do some cooking. Okay, Expedition 2, you guys are going to break camp. And move to the ocean. Expedition 1, you guys are going to make camp. And gather. Any cooking? There's really not any cooking I can do. Well, I can do grain and grain. That's probably good. Go to... Which one of you is the best cook? That would be you. Pull you to cook bread. Alright, Expedition 2, you guys are in the water now. And that took all of your movements, and there's nothing I can do with you this turn except maybe some crafting and research. We should always be doing crafting and research whenever we're out to sea because we get to do it basically for free. So what can I craft? I can craft shields now. Let's actually pause for a second and look at our equipment. We have a Dryad shield. This is made of Dryad wood and enchanted leather. Those are both pretty high quality materials. It's going to be hard to get a better shield than that. Nobody else in our party uses a one-handed item except for her, but she's really near her weight capacity limit, and so putting a shield on her is very unlikely. Just out of curiosity though, what is the lightest shield that I could craft? So the absolute lightest shield available is going to be made of Bloodbone, which weighs 2.8. Actually, Elven wood is lighter than Bloodbone, surprisingly. Yeah, so we can make Elven wood, and then the lightest leather is scaled leather. What does that look like in terms of its total weight? 45 pounds. And if we went with this, 51 pounds, yeah. So Elven wood, scaled leather is the lightest possible shield that you can craft. At least with tier 2 resources. 45 pounds is still much too heavy for her to carry in her offhand. This does offer 16 armor for only 45 pounds of weight. So that's pretty solid. I forget, I just looked at it too. What was his shielding? 21. Yeah, that's going to be hard to beat. I don't think we're going to be able to craft something that good. Somebody did point out also in my videos that we have a lot of advancement points, and we haven't really taken advantage of moving up the tiers to the 1-star and 2-star variants of weapons. What this does is it does two things. So the first thing that it does is it unlocks one additional resource that you can use to build them. And then the second thing that it does is it adds a 10% bonus to the essence that you would normally put into the item. And I believe those do stack, so you can, with both tiers, get up to 20% essence increased. And so one of the fastest ways to get to the elemental and legendary class weapons is to very quickly pour your advancement points into the stars of a particular so it gives you essence and that way you can actually break those thresholds with the lower tier materials and craft something. It won't be as high quality, won't be as good, but at least you can start to play around with some of those elemental attributes and see how interesting that might be. This is something that I'm considering doing in one of my future playthroughs, especially if we unlock the god that's a smithy. I believe he gives you some kind of benefit to your smithing crafting skill, and it might even be an essence bonus. So if you pair that essence bonus with an early investment into, say, 2-star swords or something, you can outfit an entire party with some really interesting swords. One thing that we haven't unlocked yet is jewelry. I'm kind of going for more of a let's get a little bit of everything approach before I invest into the higher tiers of weapons. Artifacts could also be good. We don't have a lot of artifacts available yet. And I'm not sure if artifacts might give better intelligence-based attacks. Didn't seem like it, based on the ones that I've seen. We needed to craft a better one-handed scroll for our witch. So that was definitely a thing. And getting advanced shields would give us maybe the potential to craft a better shield than we currently have. His shield is in pretty good shape though. Like, what is the other ring? Okay. So just basic jewelry. We do have some nice leathers and some gems, but we're kind of low on gems right now. This would unlock bone as an additional resource to use for bows. I've got so many points. Is there anything over here? I haven't really spent much time down in these, but we have a witch now, so maybe doing something like blessings and curses. We could create bog bees that will fight and work for you for 5 turns. Grants a random low-level domestic pet. Raise morale of all members by 40. That could actually be really helpful. Higher education. Upon completion, grants 3 experience points equally divided among all members of the group. Not sure. So we just do this over and over again, basically, and you get like free XP. That could be interesting. Summon a boat. Earth Vision. Moon Bridge. Instantly transports all people and their cargo to another group location, the closest to them. That's interesting. Physical blessings. Gift of Fire. So grants extra crafting, but reduces gathering. Strong shoulders. Extra gathering. And extra carry capacity for 5 turns. And then the different blessings. Gift of Fire sounds interesting. This is some type of a ritual we perform. Okay, yeah, we use basic resources to create a ritual that gives us a crafting bonus. I'm gonna go ahead and put a point into that, since we're definitely a crafting focused group. there's some materials that we need to focus on. And I kind of want to pick up better foods as well, but we're not really hurting for food. Alright, so if we're going to craft any kind of a tier 2 weapon, I think it's going to be a better bow. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm that. That'll still give us some points to mess with later on. And we're spending a lot of time on this turn. We need to craft a one-handed scroll that's not garbage. I have exactly 11 of these, and I'm 1 short in Dragon Bone. But I also have exactly 10 furs. So we could do something like that. This is Energy Blur. This is going to be a Destiny Wisdom ability, or Destiny Wisdom Scroll. Just changing the type of crystal does change the type of spell. Interesting. What about changing the secondary material? It also changed both spells. Really? Huh. So if I put... Yeah, that's really weird. Okay. What if I do... I'm trying to figure out how it knows... So it's gotta be, it has to be something to do with improved resources. So what do the wild resources do? What if we go wild? I'm not really seeing any rhyme or reason to how these decide what they're going to do. Doesn't change it. Basic leather doesn't change it. Furs doesn't change it. Huh. So no matter what I put in with enchanted leather, I get the same too. But if I take the enchanted leather out, let's try with this one. Okay, so now it changed it. Huh. I wonder if it has to do with how full we get the bar. That must be it. So as we cross this threshold, it moves up to a different ability. That seems to be how it works. Okay, anything's going to be better than what we have. I'd like to use those up, and I'd like to use this up, but I would actually not like this ability, because I want a mysticism attack. Well, that's interesting. So I'm below the bar, but this time it's continuing to give me energy blast. I'm not seeing the rhyme or reason to this at all. Is it based on the first thing I stick in the slot? Well, that looks pretty decent. We have a pretty reasonable chance of making trash with this, but this is the highest amount of essence that I can get into random blast. So let's go ahead and confirm that. Get these two on into that, and then make some bread. Alright, that took a lot of time for no significant gain, I'm assuming, but... Let's go ahead and move our boat. Let's move all the way down this way. And see if we can't find a few other things. We're attacked by pirates. We can try and parlay, we can abandon some loot and run, or we can fight. Boy, I don't know. Try and parlay? Victory with serious injuries. What do we have for character stats? He's got Hunter's Mark. He doesn't have any good yellow attacks. He's got a pretty solid yellow attack with this, but it only does 24 damage. She's got several attacks that she can use yellow in, but they're fairly mediocre. These guys have 62 health. Yeah, these pirates are strong. Only the elf is weak. I think I am going to accept the auto-resolve. I have a feeling I'm probably going to mess up the fight if I do anything else. This is a guaranteed victory, although that's a lot of damage. And all we get to do is pay them? Lovely. 800, huh? Well... nobody's using that right now. Aye. We're low sanity alert now too. Maybe splitting up our party is just not going to work out for us, because every time I seem to try to do this, it goes very poorly for us. Mostly recovered. Is it better than what we have? It's slightly better than what we have. Still better. We can get to that tile. have any more bread to make, right? Nope. We are out. We can finish this loaf, though. Let's put you on that. And then gathering. We can gather seaweed in one turn, but we can't gather fish in one turn. We're probably not going to stick around for the fish. I could pull one of these guys off. Let's see. I got 45. I need like 90. Yeah, they're both really bad gatherers. That's fine. We'll just stick with this for now. Crossing a woodland grove, you see a flickering of light, and you sense the fluctuation of mystical power. Investigate. As you approach, you see the woodland shake as two spirits fight. One clearly emanates darkness, and the other shines as bright as the sun. The light spirit notices you and pleads, "Quick, aid me!" This dark spirit seeks to corrupt this place, twist it to its own dark will. I am weakened. Please help, or at least stay out of it. Light and harmony. Focus on this spirit of light. The presence of the light is overwhelming. The spirit burns bright within it, overshadowing the darkness almost entirely. Aid the spirit of darkness, help the light, do not interfere. Light is our domain. It's really confusing with light as our domain and then the light bringers being a thing, but I think we're going to go ahead and go with this. Sensing your desire, the spirit of light speaks again. Good, now please go to my friends nearby. They know a way to kill this spirit for good, else it will just come back. I will hold it as long as I can. Please hurry. Go to the place marked by the spirit. Okay. We have a witch who's agreeing to remove curses. I will agree to pay. Pay to have more than one type of curse removed. Ooh. Let's just do one curse. We need 40 of an item. We do not have a lot of items, but we do have 40 meat. Physical or spirits? Let's get the physical one removed, and then we can remove the spirit one with everybody together using our own witch. That gets rid of her, and that also means that this party is more combat capable. Oh crap. I didn't mean to click that. I guess we're going back this way. How are we doing over here? We're up to 30. So 2 more turns and we'll have enough. Fine, fine. What we won't have enough of is herbs. Or anything else for that matter that we can use. Scorch is happening right now. Don't give us a lot of options here, do they? It's just gems, herbs, and mushrooms. Well, we have the 50 gems, but we're definitely out of herb. let's reunite our parties. Alright, get our two best gatherers here. Let's get our researchers here. Trash that for now. We only have 3 herbs. We might as well turn that into some kind of food. What do we have the most of? I have 46 of these, 46 of those, 47. No, that's not right. I have 54 of these, 44 of these, and 66 of these, so the grilled fish would be the one that I would want to cook. If I were to cook anything. Grilled fish. And we have these two who can maybe work on some composites. I want to make more steel out of that because we still have quite a bit of that. Alright. What is my total inventory looking like? We're at 72. We need 100 of these gems in order to get rid of a curse since we don't have any herbs. It's probably faster for us to just collect 100 of these than it is to get any other thing going on. Fortunately, that means we're not getting a lot of other things done. I think I am going to split the party up. Since we're not planning on traveling more than 3 tiles away from each other, we should still be able to contribute to each other in fights. So who's going on this trip? Well, the gatherers aren't going. You can go. The chosen can go. The healer can go. How does that look? And then Expedition 1 can be fine. Okay. We'll split the wood. We'll split the food. Expedition 1 is this group, they're going to stay camped. Expedition 2 is this group, they're going to travel to this quest. Alright. You find the cabal of darkness that the spirit of light sent you to destroy, and as you enter their circle, they turn to you with their unliving faces and attack. Fight them in combat or speak to them instead. Tell them to stop the ritual and supporting the spirit of darkness. Let's just fight them. Why are we not getting the rest of our party? I'm a little concerned. Auto-resolve shows perfect victory, so I'm going to take it. You beat the race and feel a release of power. Likely the ritual is broken. Strangely, you see the race consumed by light from within before they disappear. Collect what is left here. What is this? Forgotten Essence. This is a really high level material, but we only got one of it. A hooded figure approaches. Thanks, Svarog. You destroyed those dark fiends. I feel the spirit of darkness weaken. But now, we must perform a final rite to truly banish the taint. I need your help with it. Meet me back at the grove. He rushes off. Leave and go back to the Spirit of Light. Which is up here, I guess. Okay, I'm very confused. I'm fairly certain that on this difficulty, when you are camped, you should be able to use all of the members of a party who are within 3 tiles of you. I'm not sure why we were unable to do that for that. I've got a couple points of movement. I might as well move a little closer to it. And I don't think we're going to camp, because I don't want to burn any more wood that we don't need to. Alright, so this cannot be done any longer. This cannot be done any longer. But this can be. So we'll put her on that. And then gathering. Move her over there just to help move this along a little faster. Actually, I'll put her there and put her there. Food is not a priority right now. Getting rid of these curses kind of is. You see the spirit of darkness finished to a speck while the light pulsates hot and heavy. The priest of Svarog prepares a ritual and ushers you to come closer. Come, let us finish this for good. Help with the ritual. We do not have our purple caster, but I will accept the outcome. 13 Malachite, another 3 Destiny on our Chosen. Wish it and the priest of Svarog well and leave. Ask the priest if this is all now. See if the priest would like to join you. Your ritual works. The spirit of darkness is consumed wholly by the light. You feel the earth tremble at this and see the grove awash with scorching light. The woodland looks green and rejuvenated, yet eerily still. Not even the wind moves here. The spirit of light grows visibly stronger. Its tendrils now reach toward you and leave you with a blessing before shooting off into the distance. Well, ain't that swell? Yes, my task here is done, and you aided the cause of light well, friends. I thank you once more. Sure. We gained a priest. He is a Zerka. We don't have a Zerka, so that's actually good. He's got pretty good stats. 14 and 13. For a current level 1 Zerka, that's not bad at all. Glimpse of Knowledge. Increase range of sight by 3. That's pretty clever. So they're really good in the yellow combat. And he has an interesting weapon that does about reasonable damage in both yellow and purple. Alright. Cool. He also has a bird. That has a dive attack? I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. We lost faction loyalty with the Shadowkin and the Alpha clans. I'm not sure. I've not really encountered these two clans much yet, so I don't know how that's going to affect us in the long term. But the good news is nobody died. Let's recombine our party. And let's see if we have 100 of these yet. So we're at 82. Two best on that. Bread's being done. Let's see if we can't get this Zerka outfitted with some better gear while we're at it. Jewelry might be something we want to consider making too. We have a lot of characters that aren't wearing any jewelry yet. That might be for the next video though. Alright, well, let's click on the right buttons here. And let's see. I'm a little curious why Baska's not wearing her armor. Pretty sure we threw that on her. Don't know when that came off. Let's see. He's got a topaz relic, which actually was pretty good on him. And then he's wearing some topaz robes, which have a weight of 11. Quite a bit lighter than our fur robes. But he's got quite a bit of carrying capacity left, so those are slightly better. These robes are very light. The two lightest materials in the game at the moment. Topaz and Elvenwood, yes, that will happen. These might be really good for a child, so we'll definitely hold on to those. And then his gathering stat is pretty poor, so we can give him a gathering tool for now. A better tool for him with such a high intelligence score is probably going to be one of those crafting tools that increases research. So I've got a lot of steel now, so let's throw that in there. And then something light like a gem. This gives a pretty reasonable 2.9 research. It does weigh 90 pounds. I could lighten it up a little bit by using that. The research is quite a bit lower. I could also use silver. Silver is the improved metal, and it's the lightest metal that you could use in the tier 2 and tier 1 for that matter. This is 5 per pound, or 5 units of weight per, while silver is only 3.8. So what if we did something like that? That gets us back up to 2.9 research, but it's fairly light, only 53 pounds in comparison. So that's actually really decent. I don't have any more topaz. Using topaz here would actually further make that lighter. I do have quartz. Quartz is not particularly light. Well, we get a little bit more essence because the quantity of quartz is higher. But I think this is the way we're going to go. We can get that done in probably close to 2 turns. Okay. Get some more research done. Actually, we got quite a few vegetables now. So I could cook, like... That's something we don't have. Sure. You can try your hand at cooking. And then I have some other vegetable-based goods that we can make. We've never made this before. A seaweed sandwich. And maybe like that? Pickles? I can do that a couple times. Let's do that like twice. We'll make one seaweed sandwich. And I'll put you on that. Sure. Goblin Cemetery. You see an unburied body on the ground clutching a stash of goods. Take the stash, bury the corpse. Well, there you go. We found a very heavy version of basically what we're building. This guy gets a spiritual blessing and a level. Completely safe pill or master healer. I really like master healer. Actually, master healer just, it's actually not very good. Basically just lowers our death chance by 1%. It doesn't increase our healing rate at all. What does this do? This gives us a better attack. I would rather have this. This is very mediocre. I wonder if the higher levels of this actually increase anything else. But yeah, that's a 1% chance to not die. The first point gives you a 5% chance to not die and a healing. Well, we'll go with that for now. Are we there yet? Are we finally going to get rid of these curses? One more turn. Equipment. Plus research on you. And she basically has the same item. This was our trash mithril crafting tool that we made. Okay. We we still have one set of malachite robes that we can replace. Actually, two sets. What was this recipe again? Furs and enchanted leather? Well, we're ready to do our ritual now, finally. Wrong ritual. Very expensive. We could have the Zerka help. It's still gonna take 2 turns, so... Alright, we can't make any of these right now. We can't make bread right now. We've pretty much cooked up everything we can. Who else needs gear? We definitely could make some better light robes. We used like fur and bone, didn't we? Or no, we used fur and enchanted leather, right? Like that? Yeah, the fur robes. 13.0. Pretty lightweight. I can't really afford that at the moment. I have a lot of bone. The improved bone and regular leather does not make very good armor. And the furs only makes moderately better armor. So we really need a wild resource like that. So I actually can make one more set of this better type of armor. It's actually not all that different to craft it like this. What about our bow? We talked about maybe building a better bow, especially for the one character that doesn't have a good one yet. The best bow that I could think using dark wood, and I think we use steel, right? But I also have like that. That's probably the highest bow that I can make. This is an elemental version of the bow, which does poison damage and fixed damage. This gives life leech, I think. Yeah. And then the metal, what does the metal do again? Metal gives true damage. That's an interesting combination. True damage and poison damage. Notice that the damage type or the multiplier is only 1.3 versus a 1.7, but you get the 2 extra effects. Flat damage. Leather's flat damage. Bone is life leech. Wait, we did craft him an elven bow, didn't we? Yeah, we crafted him an elven bow last time. That's a really good elven bow. Let's pull that character up real quick as I click out of all the characters. What did we give it? Gold and yeah, so it's a 1.6. So it's not incredibly exciting. And then hers is steel and dark wood. So if I could make a better bow, it would have to be for her. We could just pass her bow down to him. Alright, so our newfound bow, if we went like max stats here, we're looking at 1.9. That's only slightly better than what she currently has. Or I could go with the elemental version, which again, I don't think this is particularly worthwhile. What does poison do? It's like an extra 30%, 35% damage on anything that's taken damage to its health. Yeah, this is not exciting enough for me to even bother trying it. Especially with a 40% extra chance to make trash. I don't know about that. I feel like we're just gonna have to find better materials. Alright. So what are we doing here? We're 2 turns from this. Everybody else is just going to keep gathering or researching, I guess. Put him on research. They're gathering. And there's no sense crafting anything there. But we could do some more of this. So I've got a ton of steel and a fair amount of gold. And if I want to make mithril, we've got 26 of this. So I could do this 6 times. So let's get these 2 on that. I made that. And that should remove our curse. I smell sweet darkness clutching your souls, and where there is demand I bring supply. Pay, my dearies, and your curses shall be cured. Just remember, I like quantity, not quality. Tell her to stop the sales pitch and just give you a rabbit's foot dipped in virgin's blood under a half moon during harvest. You can do the rest. Asked for a professional discount as you only need the facilities and some supplies and you can manage the rest. Agree to pay or leave. The real question is, I just did a curse removal. So do we have another curse removal? I will go with this one for now. Do I want to do this? 25 of some item. Well, what is the lowest? We got a lot of bone. Here, just take it all. Okay, cool. That removed her extra curse. This removed all the other curses. Hopefully we're completely uncursed for once. She is a wisdom-based character. She also has a fairly high mysticism score. I'll take the wisdom. And this is our... I don't know that this attack is very useful. Her perception is incredibly low. This is a better ability for her. Alright, I think we're going to end the video here for tonight. We didn't get a ton accomplished, but we did get all of our curses removed. And we learned a few things. We learned splitting up our party is generally a really bad idea. Even though we have 10 members now, we can run in groups of 5. It just seems like every time we try to do that, something goes terribly wrong. We still have 25 days or turns in the summer season, so now that we're all curse removed, everybody's pretty well outfitted with gear. We're going to try to clear some of these higher level challenges, the bear slayers and some of these other things, and maybe get in contact with the scavengers come the next video. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. Again, feel free to comment, feel free to jump in and type in the chat. I don't always notice when people do that, but I try to pay attention to the chat box over here. And if you do make comments, I try to acknowledge you. And if not, definitely leave a comment in the video. And I can acknowledge you there because I have more time and I see those. So this has been The Nose Plays. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And see you next time.